I've used the same microphone for 10 years and I've never felt the need to change it until now. This is the difference between the mic I build my sound on and what might become my new vocal sounds. Hello everyone, my name is Dinkov and today I'm going to be comparing the microphone I've used for the last 10 years, which is the SE Electronics 2200 with the SE Gemini, which is the microphone I have just purchased. And this is not going to be just comparing specs and saying, oh, this is better, this is better. I'm going to be reviewing it based on real use. That is recording vocals, making music, and understanding how both these actually perform in real life scenarios. The SE 2200 has been my go-to microphone for many years now. And it's a microphone I got when I was just first starting out with music production and recording. So by all means, it is not a luxury mic, but it's accessible. It has a very attractive starting point. When I got it, it cost me £230. So one of the reasons why I like this mic is the affordability. The second reason is having incredible flexibility with recording because it has the multipolar patterns. That means that you can record not just vocals. I mean, to be fair, even with cardioid setting, you can record more than just vocals, but this has incredible versatility when you want to record vocals, guitars, drums, pianos, pretty much everything. I have applied it at uni on all of these scenarios and it has come with incredible sounds. But the main and biggest thing for me has been the clarity that this microphone produces. I'm not going to talk about other brands, but I have tried the NT1, NT2, I've tried the TLM103, U87, SM7B, SM58, 57. I've tried a lot of microphones throughout my career as a musician. And some of them I don't like, some of them I do like, but they're a lot more expensive than this mic. But what I've noticed is this microphone has an incredible clarity for the price range it is in. So if you're looking for a starter mic, I'll definitely recommend this one. Just the fact that I've been using this microphone for the last 10 years can speak a lot. From me starting out to me getting to where I am right now, and the reason why I've upgraded to the Gemini I will discuss shortly. But all I can say, it gives you a really honest and clean recording of your voice or anything else that you're recording. And the last reason, which shouldn't be a deciding factor, but that is portability. You can power it by phantom power, which case is provided by your interface, so you do not need an additional power unit. And I don't really travel that often to be recording somewhere else, so most of the times I'm recording in my home studio. But in the rare occasions when I'm going somewhere to record with friends, that is the perfect mic because all you need to carry is this and obviously an XLR cable. And yes, you need to be carrying the cradle so you can mount it onto the mic stand. Every microphone needs that though, you know what I mean? But it's easy to carry, it's reliable, and that's what I love about it. And yes, when I'm traveling, I do put a sock and wrap it in a t-shirt, so yeah, don't judge me. It's lasted me 10 years, it works well. So the question is, why upgrade? It wasn't because the 2200 stopped working for me, because it's a microphone I am still using. It was because I felt it is time to evolve my sound. I've been interested in the Gemini for a very long time. It's been a few years before I actually decided to say, I'm buying it. In the meantime, I have been reviewing other microphones. And as I mentioned, I have used the U87, the 103 by Neumann, and they're incredible microphones. They provide the clarity, but what I really needed out of a microphone is character. And that is provided by the dual tubes in the Gemini. I've used the Gemini's little brother, which is the Z5600, and I just fell in love with that sound. And I knew that having two tubes instead of one is going to be even better. So the idea of getting that combination of the tube sound with the incredible clarity that SE provides pretty much made a decision for me. Now that I have discussed why I decided to upgrade, let's hear some examples and talk about the recording process. So I'm using Apollo Twin by Universal Audio as an interface, and I'm running the following plugins in my recording chain. So that are plugins that get recorded onto the recording. The preamp that I'm using is Neve 1073, and I have adjusted the EQ settings to work well with the frequency response of the Gemini. I have also decreased the output volume so I can actually use more of the input, so I can get that tube sound of the microphone, actually be able to push the input a bit more. But obviously that is depending on each song that I'm recording and how loud my vocals actually are. But these are two settings that I will be adjusting with the songs I'm recording. The EQs tend to stay the same. The second plugin that I'm using is the CVox by, again, Universal Audio. That just helps me as a little noise gate, just to help remove any sounds in between takes or whatever. Obviously I wouldn't be a musician if I'm not using auto-tune, right? So yeah, I do have the Auto-Tune Pro, and that again, that's just adjusted for each song that I'm using. And lastly, I am using the distressor on its optimal setting. I have a slow attack and a fast release, and I'm using the distortion 2 sound as well, which I just turned off, but yeah. So this is what gets recorded into the recording, and also I'm using pure plates on a bus just for me to be able to hear some reverb that does not get recorded onto the main vocal. Now, enough talking, it's time for A and B testing. I want you to be listening for clarity, warmth, presence, and how the vocal sits in the mix. We're gonna do 2 types of A and B testing. One of them is with the dry vocal, just using the recording chain plugins, which is the Neve 1073, noise gates, auto-tune, and distressor. And then we're going to do an A/B testing when the vocals are actually mixed.
Lately I've been overseas more than I've been home. I just spent a day in Rome, sipping up a roll, chilling by the sea, the sun is shining over me. Grateful for my blessings that come easily. Lately I've been overseas more than I've been home. I just spent a day in Rome, sipping up a roll, chilling by the sea, the sun is shining over me. Grateful for my blessings that come easily. Lately I've been overseas more than I've been home. I just spent a day in Rome, sipping up a roll, chilling by the sea, the sun is shining over me. Grateful for my blessings that come easily. Lately I've been overseas more than I've been home. I just spent a day in Rome, sipping up a roll, chilling by the sea, the sun is shining over me. Grateful for my blessings that come easily. Lately I've been overseas more than I've been home. I just spent a day in Rome, sipping up a roll, chilling by the sea, the sun is shining over me. Grateful for my blessings that come easily. Counting all these blessings, man, I get obsessed. Live the life of dream, man, who could have guessed? I'm spending all these hundreds that my hands possessed. Half my income locked up, be under arrest. Lately I've been overseas more than I've been home. I just spent a day in Rome, sipping up a roll, chilling by the sea, the sun is shining over me. Grateful for my blessings that come easily. Counting all these blessings, man, I get obsessed. Live the life of dream, man, I could have guessed. I'm spending all these hundreds that my hands possessed. Half my income locked up, be under arrest.
Alright, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Tell me which microphone do you prefer, and also which sound do you prefer. Just, yeah, let me know what you think. In my opinion, the 2200 has that clean, direct clarity that I've always loved. It's predictable, it works, you can rely on it. 10 out of 10, you know? With a Gemini though, that is something different. That is something different. There is more depth in the low end, in my opinion. The top end feels more smoother, even though the clarity is still there, and it just gives a sense of warmth. And the vocal feels more finished, straight from the mic, rather than relying on the mixing process to do that. And at the end, it doesn't replace the 2200, it just expands on what I can do with the microphones. I'm glad that I have upgraded, and I will be using both microphones quite a lot, the Gemini more than the 2200, unfortunately, at this point. But it's got on a lot of use for the last 10 years, so I guess it can retire and rest for a bit. Even after I've tested a lot of microphones throughout the years, I've always been a huge fan of SE. And my love for SE started even before I even did any kind of music, and that was through watching the vocal covers of a musician called Christian Johansson. He's from Denmark, and he was doing covers of my favorite bands at the time. That was like 2012, 2013 time, and I've watched him for years. And he used the earlier model of the 2200, and you know, for years I've just listened to that microphone, and I really wanted to have one myself because I was a huge fan of Christian, but also I really like how the microphone looked. Yeah, aesthetics matter. So yeah, a few years later, when I had the chance, I purchased my own 2200, and again, I'm basing it on my actual experience of using other microphones such as Neumann, Shaw, Rhodes, and the 2200 has been consistently one of the most reliable mics for my voice specifically. That is an important thing to note. The mic works well on my voice specifically, and that's why I have used them. As I said, I had the opportunity to test other microphones, and although there are few that are really, really good and there are few that I don't like at all, the 2200 has been my go-to because every time I've been recording, I knew what kind of recording would come out. I could always trust it, and I've gone with it. So if you want to buy a microphone for yourself, whether it be the 2200, the Gemini, or any other brand or model, if possible, give them a try before you actually commit. And this is why this comparison matters, because I'm not replacing something that I don't like. I am building on something I have trusted for a decade. So where do I actually land with both these microphones? Well, the Gemini is going to be my main studio microphone. And in all honesty, it's going to get a lot more studio time use than the 2200 at this point. But the 2200 isn't going anywhere. That's always going to be my secondary mic. It's always going to be a very important microphone to me, and I'm going to keep it as my travel mic. So if I'm going to other studios, working with artists in different environments, I'm going to carry that microphone with me because it's going to be a lot easier to carry than all of this, which is obviously the microphone. The Gemini will be its own power supply, it has its own power cables and a cable that goes into the microphone to the power supply. So it's a lot more things to carry. And yeah, if I'm driving, I might do that, but a lot of the times I'm taking public transport and flying. So taking the flight case, even though it's a flight case, might not be really convenient for me, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is my honest comparison between those two microphones. I'll be curious which one you've preferred, so please tell me in the comments. And if you want to, I can break down my mixing chain more in depth so you can actually understand what I'm doing. So yeah, if you would like to know that, let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good day.